Let's jump to the story from SCNR. How Republicans lost yesterday's New York special election to Democrat Tom Suozzi. Analysts and politicos weigh in on what went wrong and what it could mean for November's general election. The gist of it is, Frank Luntz is like, this is a warning to Republicans, the final warning. If you don't shape up, you're going to lose. I'll tell you this. First, every Republican, I think it was 103 or was it 105? I don't know. They are in, so like Jeff Van Drew's on the list. Jeff Van Drew, the guy who was a Democrat and switched to the Republican Party, garbage. And I would love for these people to come on this show so I can tell them to their face, they are spineless jellyfish. They are cowards. And I will do everything in my power to advocate people do not vote for them and vote for someone to primary them. Let's start getting primary challenges on these guys. That's the first thing. The second thing is, guys, it really doesn't matter all that much that Santos lost. I do not believe this is indicative of anything having to do with November. I am not scared about this. I do think it's important that anybody who wants to see America First candidates win, you have to do the work now. That being said, while everyone's screaming that Republicans are stupid and it resulted in a Democrat taking the seat and Democrats are cheering, saying, aha, this proves it, we're going to win in November, I'd like to show you New York's 3rd District. The election that just happened, Tom Suozzi versus Mazi Malesa Philip. The Democrat wins. 2022, George Santos versus Rob Zimmerman. George Santos wins. 2020, Tom Suozzi versus George Santos. Suozzi wins. 2018, Suozzi wins. 2016, Suozzi wins. 2014, it was Steve Israel, the Democrat, versus Grant Lally. The Democrat had won. The Democrat had won in 2012. The Democrat, I believe, in 2010. The Democrat in 2008, 2006 was Peter King. And that was the last time, aside from Santos. Here's the important thing to understand. The reason why George Santos won, it's really, really simple. The reason why he lost. But I'll start with, the only reason Santos won is because the incumbent did not. The incumbent didn't run. Suozzi was the guy in the district for 3 terms. And when he decided not to run for whatever reason, Rob Zimmerman versus Santos created an opening for which Santos was able to win. Once Santos is out, they put the long-standing incumbent back on the ticket.
Oh.
Of course he's going to win. So for all these people who are saying like, haha, Republicans are going to lose, this is a big sign. No, it isn't. The incumbent came back. This guy who was popular in the district came back and said, I'll do the job again. And people were like, okay, we'll take it. It's not a Democrat-Republican thing. That being said, Republicans are spineless jellyfish losers who shouldn't have voted to oust Santos in the first place, so they reap what they sow.
Yeah. I mean, the Republican running in the position of Santos hated Trump, was registered as a Democrat, still at this day was registered as a Democrat. And you cannot hate Trump. Like, it's the leader of the Republican Party. How do you want Republicans to vote for someone that hates the leader of the Republican Party? Of course, they're not going to vote for him.
This is the weirdest thing to me, right? So Mazi Philip, who was running as the Republican, she represents Nassau County's Long Island 10th District as a Republican. However, her current party is listed as Democratic.
It's crazy.
I don't understand. I'm like, I'm looking at this like, that's got to be a typo, right? So she's a Democrat?
And she's
still a Democrat?
Pro-abortion. She's not pro-life either.
She's pro-choice.
She's pro-choice.
So here's right. So you run someone who is pro-choice, wants gun control,
hates Trump.
Right. I don't know exactly what her quotes outside of this are on Trump or what she said, but she basically in her wiki article, it mentions as it relates to Donald Trump's indictments. She said Trump has to go through this process. No one's above the law. We have great candidates right now. Trump is one of them. We'll see. Right. She's also like, I'm pro-life, but I don't think I should impose my views on others. I'm like, that's called pro-choice.
Yeah.
That is called other people can choose whether or not they get an abortion.
Yeah. It was a Democrat against a Democrat, basically.
Right. And so, exactly. And so it's Democrat versus Democrat. Why would anyone choose Democrat light if they want to vote Democrat?
Exactly.
They're going to vote for the long-standing incumbent they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, well, the thing is, like, it shouldn't really be a surprise that the Republicans didn't win, considering, like, George Santos kind of made that district show its butt when they voted for him. He's a clown, you know?
But his voting record is amazing. He votes good. He might be a clown, but he votes good.
But I have a question. Is he a clown?
Well, he has definitely clowned them.
Why? What did he do?
I don't know. He lied a lot about his past, but
What did he lie about?
I don't know about where he studied. And
Wait,
that,
anybody?
Oh, he said that his mom died in 9/11. I love Santos. I like him so much, I have to say.
He also said
But
that
he said a little bit of lies. But he votes good, and that's what I care. The only thing I care about is how the people vote, because that's what affecting me. And he's amazing voting, so why should they take him off? And he said that he was going to just step out at the next race. Let him finish the years that he's supposed to be there.
So the list of lies New York Mag has, and these are leftists.
they're hilarious.
No, but they're all. It's all.
it's
It says he's alleged to have done this. He's alleged to have done this. He's alleged to have done this.
Yeah. There's
okay.
no evidence that he did anything. Like there's no there was no trial or hearings
I
or
never
anything.
knew that
It's just
until
like
recently. I
What?
didn't realize that was the case. There was no actual, it was no substantive evidence at all, which is crazy.
And
there was
what-
literally no due process.
Why should we care about his private life? I don't care about his private life.
He lied about where he went to high school.
He said he was Jew-ish.
That's so funny. Like, he's
I
a funny
agree.
guy.
I agree.
I laugh about him.
It's like, to me, that falls right in line with like Trump's kind of stuff, which I know this makes the left hate him even more, but that reminds me of the kind of BS that Trump would
I know,
try to
that's
lay
so
down,
funny
which I
to
think is
me.
hilarious, but
Like, he's getting the job done, and he makes me laugh.
yeah.
I just
What
think
is going on?
it's not Congress's job to make people laugh. Where that's you go to Hollywood to do that, or you start a YouTube channel. But like jokesters, like we don't need to fuck around right now, man. We know serious people doing real work.
But he was voting. His voting record was a serious voting record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was voting.
I would
He was
love to
really
have him
good.
on the show. What's that?
I'm sure if you invite him, he would come.
Yeah, I thought, okay, he's a goofball. I have no interest. And then I saw him talk on a video, and I was like, actually, he seems very intelligent.
What if
talk to him?
Yes.
What if Jon Stewart ends up endorsing Trump?
I wouldn't be
I
shocked.
would laugh a lot for
I
a
mean,
while.
there was a lot of leaps in my brain from this conversation that ended up with this point. But it was basically like starting with what did Santos lie about? We pull these lies up. Why should I care about he lied about where he went to high school?
Yeah.
What do we want in Congress? You've got Democrats who refuse to oust Menendez when he's caught with wads of cash stuffed in, and he's been indicted now twice. Democrats will not go after their own. In fact, AOC recently came out and said that she's going to be voting for Joe Biden because he's one of the greatest presidents or like most accomplished.
My
And it's
God.
just patently insane. Which brought me to Jon Stewart even is calling out Joe Biden. If AOC is like, Biden is the best, period, and Jon Stewart is like, this guy's got problems, how long until they start attacking Jon Stewart, which they've already done? There are people attacking him saying, we're facing an existential crisis of democracy, and this is what Jon Stewart finds funny? How long until the attacks on Jon Stewart turn into him saying, I think Trump's crazy, but you're going to vote for him? You have to do it. You have to. I mean, look at Michael Rappaport.
I think if they really try and ramrod Joe Biden into the nomination, that he might vote for Trump. Because I mean, what choice do you have at that point? I don't love either of those guys. I don't know either of them, but Biden's so slow.
The Daily Show segment was good. He was like, these guys who are currently running have set the record for the oldest candidates in the history of this country, beating out the previous record that they set,
Dude, and
4 years ago.
Bill Clinton, president 30 years ago, is younger than Joe Biden.
Wait, what, for real?
Yeah. Zuby was talking about this earlier on the Adam Sosnick podcast.
It's
Bill
crazy.
Clinton, 77.
Yeah.
Wow. You know why that's crazy? Because he looks decrepit. And Trump, who is also 77, actually looks kind of spry.
Yeah.
Trump has a healthy figure, if I can say that. You know what I mean?
I think
he is
Bill's been
he is
drinking
a
a lot.
plump man. And Bill Clinton looks like decrepit.
Bill's nose does look like he drinks, but I don't know that.
Hillary Clinton is 76. Joe Biden's 81.
Dude, he's older than the president 30 years ago. The president. I mean, it's just the math is out of.
I'm blowing. In Spain, you don't see that. We are socialists and we are really bad, but we don't see elderly men running the country.
Oh, okay.
Well, Nancy Pelosi, who's like 83, she was like, Kelly's completely capable of running this country.
I think there's like this bias where if you know someone really well and you see them every day, you don't really notice them aging.
Yeah.
A lot of people that have known Joe for 30 years don't really see it like people that are like seeing him for the first time. Like, what in
It's
God's
shocking.
name is this?
Dude, look, guys, you want to know the easiest way to understand the existential crisis we face is to simply watch. Let me see if I can find the True and Nana Shaba
pressure.
Biden video.
See it.
How do I
speak better English. That's amazing.
Because I want to pull up this clip because, how do I find this Trinidad and Shabbat pressure thing?
He cannot walk. He cannot speak. He
Wait,
doesn't know
what?
where he is. How we are supposed to believe that he's the president running the things?
I just read that they're not going to do a cognitive test. He's going to take a physical, but he's
No.
not
I
going to do
saw
the
that.
cognitive.
Of course, because he
he's
would fail right
ineligible.
away.
Yeah.
What's
He's
your
like-
name? I don't know.
That,
He doesn't know who he is, where he is, what time, what year it is, and he's speaking about dead people a lot. Which that means that he may be closer to die.
as if they're still living, like
yeah,
he talks about.
Yeah, he's been talking about.
Is this the
his
clip
dead
right here?
son and stuff like that.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
But then
Okay.
you got to get the crowd
I know
cheering.
that's the point I'm trying to bring up. And Trump posted this 3 years ago on YouTube. The point I want to bring up, and I don't know how to find the full video, is the crowd goes wild that he said it. And so every single time Joe Biden says something that's incomprehensible, the crowd cheers for it.
Yeah.
Our country is facing dire straits, my friends. When a guy can go on stage and go, "You get the blah, blah," and everyone's like, "Yeah!" Like, okay. So it's a funny thing I was reading about, right? They did the study where they brought a person into a room and they were like, okay, we're going to be doing a study on people. Thank you for participating. You'll get paid X amount of dollars. Here are the other people participating in the study. It's really simple. All you have to do is we're going to show you 3 lengths of yarn, and you simply write down. You will then vote on which is the longest piece of yarn. And so at first, what's actually happening is 9 of the people are part of the study and 1 person is being studied. The 1 person being studied thinks everyone else is actually just another volunteer like they are or getting paid for a study. The first few times they'll say, okay, here's 3 lengths of yarn. Which one is the longest? Everyone points the longest and they say, do you believe that one is the longest? They'll raise their hands like, okay. After a few times, the shills start choosing the obvious wrong one. And the person who's being studied just agrees with them. Overwhelmingly just falls in line and says whatever they said is right. That's terrifying.
I've been throughout my life the kind of guy who's like, no, you people are idiots. This is the longest one. Please. I'm surrounded by idiots. And it has caused I have issues in social settings sometimes because people be like, why are you so different? Why won't you just fit in? Why won't you just say what we want you to say? But
let's try this clip.
Effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure. True international effort to pressure.
What's he
True
even
international
trying
effort
to
to
say?
pressure.
So the problem with all these clips,
international something under
look,
pressure is what I'm getting.
Conspiracy theory. The memes about this are intentionally made to protect Joe Biden. I'm half kidding, but these memes have erased the actual damning video that's hard to find for us where the crowd cheers in celebration for him saying something nonsensical. You show your liberal parents, what did Joe Biden just say? And they're like, I don't know. Why is everyone cheering for it? And that's like, that's a good question. Why is there a crowd cheering for it? It's hard to find the video. That's the video that needs to be viral, not a meme from Bruce Almighty or whatever. Donald Trump's video even cut off the part where the audience cheers for it. Why? Let's hear the audience celebrate it. I'm sure I can find it after a little while, but it's like, it's rather frustrating that it's just silly jokes instead of the actual clip, which is terrifying.
Would you call that mass formation? They're cheering for the tone of who they perceive to be their leader.
Probably.
Like he cues,
we
he
go,
says
let's
it
try.
goes up and then gah, and that's the cue for the audience to go, ah!
Yeah, he can go say nothing and just everyone cheer at him. That's how bad the brainwashing is.
Yeah. It's like a cadence with a speech too. I know what you're saying. Yeah, they're conditioned to react that way, and whether they even know what they're doing, it's like because of the way he pauses and because of the way he said this thing, and he has this gusto at the end of the sentence. Everyone thinks, "Oh, cool, time to clap," but
Yeah.
And
didn't say anything.
I do think that the people that are, that go to those things, they kind of, read the flow of what he's saying and kind of know where this places you're supposed to. And there are enough people that are just like, okay, this is the spot. We'll go ahead and do it, where the rest of the people kind of respond as well.
Classic Pavlov conditioning.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not sure that there's, that there's a huge amount of people that are doing that.
True
'cause there's
international
not a lot of
under
people
pressure.
at his
They all cut it off.
stuff,
It's crazy. Every clip I found so far, they cut off the audience celebrating Trinidad Shabbat
Did
pressure.
you hear the one guy go, yeah, right after he said it? And that
Yeah.
tease off the audience to start cheering? I wonder if he was a plant. Or if he was just so into Biden, he's like, God, yes, everything you say.
Lead an effective strategy to mobilize Shabbat pressure.
He's like, yeah. Let's
do,
play that again. It's ridiculous.
Well, I'm trying to find the full clip where the crowd cheers and screams.
I gotta
for
hear it. I remember
but
talking
they're all
about this.
gone.
That's disturbing too.
That's super annoying. Truna limanana pressure.
It is. It's the reaction to insanity that I fear often. The same with COVID. The way that the people reacted to the COVID was way worse. Turned out, I think, objectively, maybe damaging the economy, people's social lives, children's ability to school than the COVID ended up being. We didn't know if it was going to be super dangerous, but like a 99.6% recovery rate. The people's reactions are like, I mean, we're animals. We got to remember that humans are like basically recently domesticated animals. Only 10,000 year, we were just wild.
Domesticated? Who domesticated us though?
Cats. That's a theory.
That's a cool take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think cats domesticated humans.
It's just a funny joke that people say
you were saying-
sometimes.
I thought you actually did think it was
There
cat.
might be some legitimacy to it.
I would honestly, I would be a little more inclined towards dogs, to be flat out honest with you, than cats.
They're wild though. Well, I guess
Dogs?
both
No, they're
pretty
actually
wild.
domesticated. They are.
That was a great loop. I came right back to it.
You're right.
That was good.
Your face is good too. When you said it. We're gonna find this clip. It's worth it.
It's impossible.
I'll lead an effective
This looks like
strategy
it.
to mobilize true international effort to pressure. I'll lead an effective
Nope.
strategy
Wow.
to mobilize.
They're all,
all cutting.
cutting off the audience celebrating.
That's
Like
the
they're-
mass formation
True
psychosis.
international effort to pressure. I'll lead an effective.
That's it. Like, dude, I searched Twitter, YouTube, the Truna limit pressure. When this first came out, one of the biggest talking points about it was, why is the audience cheering? And I think that's the most damning thing to show people. And now it's extremely difficult to find any video of, like, I suppose if you go to C-SPAN, we got to find the original video and reclip it. So that's what we'll have to do.
You hear that, Kellen?
Or
Just kidding, Kellen.
how about
It's just like
for anybody
shoot 'em
listening
out.
who knows where the original source material is, just pull the full clip where you can hear the audience cheer for him.
Yeah, tweet it out at me.
But I mean, it is
At me,
pretty
bro.
crazy. It's like he obviously says nothing. It's clearly gibberish.
Yeah.
And people are just like, yeah. I mean, the fact that we just had Jon Stewart, and I've mentioned this before, my opinion of how badly he's harmed America. And it's ironic because he was accusing Tucker Carlson of hurting America when he went on Crossfire. But the whole mocking everything conservatives did for 15 years or whatever has made it toxic to look at a conservative and take them seriously and take their ideas seriously.
I thought Colbert was doing similar.
Hold on.
Gotta say hi to me.
He's so creepy.
We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but
What the?
this woman helped me get an awful lot done.
She's like,
Anyway,
I mean-
sick and tired of smart guys. I'm sick and tired of ordinary people being fleeced. I'm tired.
I can't do
was so-
the music kills it
He
for
was so
me.
clear-headed back then.
Yeah.
Dude,
sure.
let's talk about Tara Reid for about 5 seconds. The girl who had to flee to Russia that claimed he abused her, pushed her up against the wall, and
Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him.
Music. It ruins all of it. You know what we need to do? We need to make like an archive of like, guys, it's just a video. You can hear what he says. We're not gonna cut the context. We're not gonna remove the cheering. We're not gonna add stupid music to it. That's the most frustrating thing.
Someone
what?
Someone tweeted at me. I'm not sure if they actually have the whole one. No, this looks like it's short. It's only 26 seconds.
That might be it. Yeah, because the video. Music.
Same one.
They're all edited, removing the actual context of what happened.
Thanks for trying, Johnny.
But I mean, is the cheering in it? Maybe even with the music. Maybe that's the issue. Basically, if you watch any of the raw clips,
Someone tweeted at me.
that's the wrong tab.
Yeah, wrong tab.
If you listen to any one of Biden's rallies where he says nonsense, they cheer for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's where we're at. How we navigate this. I mean, I got a harsh reality for y'all. It could just be that we're all trapped in a simulation surrounded by NPCs, and there's only like 10,000 actual sentient human beings. The rest are just
be.
and like the like their me's just going like, woo, you know.
I don't understand how a human being could cheer for him, so that makes sense.
It's like at least Trump, when you laugh at Trump, he said something.
Yeah.
Often, yeah, it's the content of his speech that you're laughing at. Even with Hitler, they were cheering for the things. They were also cheering for the way he was saying it. They liked that fire. They were like, "We're so desperate, we'll take this angry passion."
Yeah, I feel like. I mean, granted, like the U.S. is in a kind of a down spot, but I certainly don't think that we're Weimar Germany.
No, not today. No. But the inflation's concerning, and the crowds are cheering for nonsense is also concerning, because what other nonsense will they cheer for?
Someone just linked me with a 2-hour Raw video.
Wow.
I just reposted it. It's on top of my Twitter feed if you want.
The 2-hour clip? Well, I mean, where is the...
I mean, for later, if you want to send it to calendar, I'm just saying.
Put a comment on that tweet with the timestamp. Whoever just gave that to Phil, and we'll play it on the show.
Thank you, Potato.
Tuning on the shop of the pressure.
Yeah. We'll have to...
Oh, my God.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.